Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Halton Hills housing update. So I think this week's update is pretty interesting. There's some changes that might be indicating that buyers are kind of past letting the dust settle here and might be thinking about re-entering the market. So let's talk about the numbers this week. In Georgetown this week, we had 21 sales. I have been talking for weeks how we sort of stabilized there between 12 and 16. This is the first time since the middle of March that we have seen over 20 sales in a week in Georgetown. So that means that there are buyers entering the market. We saw things sort of stabilize, and now to see such a jump compared to what we've been seeing for 2 months. I know interest rates and stuff are pretty scary and people are all over the place, but the biggest thing is that buyers have been so hesitant and they just haven't been moving forward on buying properties. And so 21 sales this week shows some promise that buyers are starting to shift. 5 of them also got over asking, and we are certainly in a market where majority of properties are not holding off offers. So for 5 of them to get over asking, it's still showing that demand. And I had multiple clients this week in multiple offer situations again. This is all gonna just go back to how it was, but just that glimmer of hope that buyer confidence is coming back is really promising. In terms of new listings this week, we only had 18 new listings in Georgetown. So you know what that means. Inventory is actually gonna be down this week. So exciting. I don't want it to go back to what it was, but I do just want things to be a little more predictable. And so I think we're getting close to a stabilization, which is why I'm excited about just not a doom and gloom update today. Acton this week had 3 sales and 5 new listings. Glen Williams had no sales and 3 new listings. Limehouse had 1 sale, no new listings. The rural market saw no sales and 2 new listings. So let's talk about active inventory this week. Last week we were at 181 active listings in all of Halton Hills. This week we are actually down to 176. This is actually a really high number for all of Halton Hills. It means that our buyers have tons of options, and so to see it sort of stabilizing around this point is interesting. I mean, we'll see what happens next week. It could spike right up again, but maybe our pocket is, sitting under that 200 mark in all of Halton Hills so that people can really start to feel comfort and balance in our market. So Georgetown this week took a big drop. So last week we had 124 active listings. This week we're down to 114 active listings. So a big drop from last week. I think we had 2 or 3 properties terminate off the market, but we also had more sales than listings. So it's just going to naturally happen. All of our price points this week are actually down, which is the first week in a very long time, I can say that. Under 800,000 is down from 8 to 7 active listings. Majority of those are condo townhomes, but it's down, so that's good. 800 to $1 million is down from 24 to 21 active listings. So still a lot of stuff in that pocket. The 1 to 1.5 million is down from 53 to 48 active listings. Last week was the highest we had seen in that price point. That price point was just getting like so much inventory for the last 10 weeks. 1.5 million plus is down slightly to 37 active listings this week. This past week was the first week in a long time that we saw multiple properties over $1.5 million selling. What we saw was a lot of them selling at significantly lower than what they had originally listed at. I think one of them was like 600,000 less than what they originally listed at. It might have been 7. Either way, we saw some big ticket stuff selling this week, but it was selling nowhere near where the people probably originally wanted. But at the end of the day, it moved. So that's good news, because the buyers seem to have just like gone to a standstill in that price point. So now looking at Acton. Acton is up this week to 23 active listings. When I pop open my listings, like normally Acton would be like just a few rows. It took up like the full page of my first screen, and I was like, oh wow, just so much stuff available in Acton right now. So take a look if you have been thinking about buying there. Glen Williams, I think this is the highest number I've ever seen in Glen Williams. There's 10 active listings in Glen Williams. There's some really good listings there right now, and some stuff under 2 million, which is sometimes harder to attain in Glen Williams. So really nice stuff available. Limehouse remains the same this week at 2 active listings, and the rural market is up slightly to 27 active listings. So what I'm seeing is, now that the interest rate announcement on June 1st happened, and the election is over, people are getting back into the mindset of buying if they were there. Like I said, I saw multiple properties with multiple offers this week, and it's a lot of the stuff is mostly that lower price point that's still getting the multiple offers. But there's just parts of this update when I look at the numbers that show a promise that our buyers are returning to the market, which is going to give us a more balanced situation. It's not healthy for us to have no listings. It's not healthy for us to have 250 listings. Like, we just need to be in this pocket where things are listing. It might take a few weeks to sell, but overall, we just need to be in a consistent balance. That's what I'm just looking for, is some balance. And this week feels like maybe we're starting to see the first signs of that. So that's good news. I will be back next Tuesday. Have a great week, everyone.